I was in the same boat just like you, desperately trying to convince myself that I didn't need to spend my money on this expensive little iPad accessory. I've bought all the Bluetooth mouse and keyboards before, and even after all those purchases, there was still something missing. I've been using the iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard for about half a year, and I've realized that this accessory is so much more than just a keyboard. It fundamentally changes the way you use your iPad, turning this little iPad from just a note-taking device to a full-fledged laptop replacement. The most prominent feature about the Magic Keyboard is the unique design. So there's two ways to open up the Magic Keyboard. You could try to open it like a traditional laptop, which is a bit tricky, or you could open it just like this, which is the way I like to do it. The Magic Keyboard fulfills the promise that Apple made, which is making the iPad Pro float. And I mean, look at it. This design looks incredible. Currently, it's in a laptop mode for when you want to type something out. And when you want to switch to handwriting, you simply pull the iPad out and begin writing with the Apple Pencil. As soon as you want to switch back to typing, it's really simple to connect again. It simply snaps on with magnets. The experience is simple and fluid, as it should be. On the side, we have a USB-C port which can be used for charging only. I loved that they included this because it allows you to charge your iPad while at the same time you can plug in another accessory on this side using this USB-C port, such as something like a hard drive or even a microphone if you really want to. This type of flexibility with the ports is really convenient, especially if you do something professional like video editing on the iPad. One of the downsides to the Magic Keyboard is it doesn't fold beyond this fixed angle, meaning if you want to write on your iPad, you'll physically have to take it out of the Magic Keyboard and write with the Apple Pencil, which is a bit inconvenient and made me hesitate to buy the Magic Keyboard in the first place. But a solution that I've come up with is to buy a vinyl skin for the iPad Pro. This doesn't protect against drops and falls, however, it protects against minor scratches and nicks. Okay, so what if you don't have a really nice surface like this to place your iPad down onto? So I'm a university student and I've thought about this, and one of the solutions that I've come up with is to take the Magic Keyboard, close it and place your iPad Pro on top of it. It's not the most elegant solution, but I prefer it so much more than doing something like this. If you haven't noticed already, my Magic Keyboard looks so much more different to what you used to seeing online, and that's because I bought a vinyl skin for my Magic Keyboard, and I have to be totally honest here. The material that the Magic Keyboard is made out of is very prone to stains and scratches, and having a skin like this gives me a peace of mind when I place my Magic Keyboard down anywhere I go. The Magic Keyboard makes the iPad Pro a little bit more heavier, but in my honest opinion, I think it's quite worth it because of two things, and that is the keyboard and the trackpad. At this price point, you'd expect nothing less than the best, and this keyboard falls nothing short of that. This is a proper MacBook grade keyboard with real key travel. The keyboard illuminates in the dark, and every key has a really nice click to it. I've never been so excited about keyboards, but I'm pretty sure that you've never typed on something that feels this good. I would definitely recommend that you go into the Apple Store to try it out for yourself. The distinguishing factor that sets this keyboard apart from alternatives is the inclusion of a trackpad. The trackpad completely changes the way that you interact with the iPad. Having a trackpad accessible like this makes the iPad Pro a much more competent device. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, before the iPad Pro was only good at note-taking, and for everything else like typing essays and making slideshows, you'd simply just go to a real computer. It's so frustrating to copy, paste and highlight text without having the precision of a mouse cursor. The addition of a trackpad solves all these issues and allows word processing apps on the iPad to be used the way they were meant to be used, which is with a mouse. Before I bought the Magic Keyboard, I thought I could simply get away with a cheap Bluetooth keyboard. Remember that Apple designed this keyboard specifically for the iPad, so simple basic navigation is so much more intuitive when using the Magic Keyboard. The inclusion of gestures allows you to open, close and even switch apps with just few finger swipes. You can swipe up with 3 fingers to go back home and swipe left and right with 3 fingers to go back and forth between apps. And you can use 2 fingers to scroll up and down just like a real computer. These little conveniences trickle into your everyday tasks. answering emails, and even doing assignments becomes so much more enjoyable. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is the Magic Keyboard worth it? I know the Magic Keyboard is really expensive, and that factor alone is definitely going to sway your decision on whether to get it. I think the value comes in what the Magic Keyboard can do for me. The Magic Keyboard completely changed what I could get done with the iPad, and for me, that made the setup completely worth it. Yes, it's expensive, but it works really, really well.